Her books have meant so many things to so many readers over the years, and if you say the name Judy Blume in certain company, eyes will light up and nostalgia will set in. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Tales of a fourth grade nothing, otherwise known as Sheila the Great, and Blubber are just a couple of her most beloved books. Now Blume is back, and this time she's getting personal. In The Unlikely Event chronicles the real-life crashes of 3 planes in a span of a couple of months, resulting in the deaths of 116 people. Judy Blume is in our downtown studio this morning. So great to be able to have you on the show. Good morning.
Good morning.
We showed just a little earlier the event last night at the Toronto Library. It was sold out. There were more than 1,000 people there. It was trending on Twitter. People, as you well know, I mean, they just can't believe they're in the same company as you when they meet you. A couple of tweets that were out there was met the lovely and amazing Judy Blume tonight. So awesome. Feel like a kid again. Another person wrote, I wasn't even this excited for my prom. I just can't, over the years, do you ever get used to that?
No, I never get used to it, but it's lovely every time. And last night was just the best of all. It was the audience was so enthusiastic, and so it was great. It was great. And I thank everyone who came.
And everybody was just soaking it up, and I gather this happens quite a bit. I mean, some people were even in tears. Tell me about this book, because it's a book of fiction. It's kind of more geared to adults, but there's some truth to it in that these were events that you crafted from a story in your past.
Well, you know, it happened when I was 14 years old, and I've been writing for 40-something years, they tell me, and yet I never thought about telling this story, and I was suddenly hit over the head with a ton of bricks. It just came to me all at once. It was, I have a story, I have to tell it. It takes place in the early 50s. It's not, you know, it's not a book about crashes. It's a book about families and friendship and, you know, 3 families, 3 generations of each family. And we meet the kids when they're 15 to 18, but we meet them again when they're 50 years old, and they come back to a kind of reunion of the worst year of their life. But it's not a downer. You know, I'm an optimistic person, and there are good unlikely events in our lives as well as difficult unlikely events.
You bet. And it's, you know, and as you walk through the characters, it's how these events are interpreted by these characters and what transpires in their life as a result. You know, one of the things that I wanted to ask you, because there are 3 families and there's different characters within it, when you're immersed in the writing process and you've got all these characters on the go, I mean, how do you keep track of where their lives are going to go when there's so many?
There are a lot of characters in this book, and I have no idea, but I am able to totally keep track of them. I don't know why. I tell my kids, if you're ever worried about me because I can't find my keys, just think about this. I'm keeping track of, I don't know, 20, 40 characters through a 400-page book. And I love it. I know, you know, I know them all so well. I know them like they're my friends. I love them. I love the ones that are fiction. I love the ones that were really there, because it is a blend of the reality with the fictional reaction to the reality.
Well, and you know, and we mentioned the plane crashes, of course, and while it isn't about necessarily the events themselves, your daughter is a pilot. Tell me what her reaction was when she read it.
Yeah, my daughter was a commercial airline pilot, and she's a reader, and when she read an early draft of this book, she looked at me and she said, "Mother, how could you never have told me this story?" And it's true. You know, the story lived inside me. I knew it. I was there at 14, but I don't know why. I tell people everything. I never told anyone about this story. I don't know whether I buried it, and and it just came bubbling back up. It was the right time. It was the right place. I needed to do it. I needed to share it, and so here it is.
When you completed, you know, writing this book, and given that so many books that you've written before that people just adore and read over and over and over again, do you have a sense when you complete a book that, yes, I think this is going to work, this is going to resonate with people?
Oh, I always hope that it will, but I'm never certain. I don't think there's any way to be certain. I feel this way. If I love my characters, if I really care about them, if I've gone deep, deep inside them, the adults and the kids in this case, then, you know, I hope other people will too. And that's how I feel. I'm never secure about it. I don't know any writer who's secure. You know, we're always anxious.
Yeah, and it's amazing for us to hear that from you because of your success and your ability in writing, and because so many people, well, certainly back in the day of, you know, Are You There, God, which still resonates to this day, you helped shape lives in so many ways that people feel so positive about.
Well, that's lovely to hear, and I love to meet my readers, but you know, when I go into that little room and I'm all alone, I don't think about any of that. I think if I thought about it, I would be paralyzed. I would never be able to write another word. I would be so anxious and afraid.
Wow. Well, I was so looking forward to being able to talk to you about In the Unlikely Event. It's amazing to spend even a few minutes with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You'll find In the Unlikely Event. That'll be on our iBooks page. Just head to itunes.com/CanadaAM.